into something that is dense, incredibly lucrative, and honestly, incredibly high stakes, the world of construction claims. Look, if you've ever walked past a massive construction site and wondered what happens behind the scenes when things go off the rails, when schedules start slipping or unexpected costs just pile up out of nowhere, well, you're in exactly the right place. Today, we're unpacking exactly how industry professionals untangle that exact mess and recover the cash.
To really wrap your head around the sheer scale of this, you have to realize that for energy and infrastructure giants, we're talking Saudi Aramco, Qatar Energy, ADNOC, ExxonMobil, delays are not just a minor headache. They cost literal millions of dollars. So when a massive dispute kicks off on one of these mega projects, the claims process essentially becomes a giant financial rescue mission. It's this whole hidden world where meticulous forensic work translates directly into massive capital recovery.
We're going to break this whole thing down into 5 neat, manageable chapters today. We'll cover the stakes, the types of claims, the essential 10-step process, the anatomy of a claim document, and wrap up with the skills and software you're going to need.
Okay, let's jump right into Section 1, the stakes.
Now, you have to understand, this isn't just about filing some bureaucratic paperwork. It's a full-blown forensic investigation. Because we're talking about millions of dollars tied up in these disputes, the professionals who actually know how to navigate the contracts, analyze the costs and delays, and then negotiate effectively, they become extremely valuable to these companies. Doing this right can literally recover fortunes and honestly unlock a wildly lucrative career for you.
Moving right along to Section 2, types of claims.
Before we can solve the chaos, we kind of need to categorize it, right? There are 7 main types of claims you'll run into. You've got extensions of time, which happen when employer or client events cause a delay. Then there are variation claims, which pop up when the actual scope of work changes. You'll also see prolongation cost claims to cover extra site overhead when delays happen, disruption claims for overall loss of productivity, and acceleration claims when you're suddenly told to work way faster than planned. And finally, you've got payment claims for unpaid certified work and loss and expense claims for those completely unforeseen cost impacts. Figuring out which specific bucket your problem falls into is absolutely crucial step 1.
All right, Section 3, the 10-step process. Let's look at the actual investigative playbook. So Phase 1 covers the first 5 steps. You kick things off by identifying the exact event that triggered the loss, literally asking, what changed and whose risk is this? Then you immediately check your contract, like the FIDIG Red Book, for example, to lock down your notice periods. Step 3 is formally issuing that notice on time to the right people. Once you've sounded the alarm, Step 4 is grabbing all your initial evidence, which tees you up perfectly for Step 5, establishing a rock-solid, unbreakable link between the cause and the effect.
And that brings us to Phases 2 and 3, Steps 6 through 10. This is where we shift gears from just gathering evidence to doing the really heavy math. Step 6 is delay analysis, which feeds directly into Step 7, calculating the precise financial impact. Then, for Step 8, you write up a compelling narrative that tells the whole story, attach your hard quantum numbers in Step 9, and finally submit that perfectly formatted claim with all the right signatures in Step 10.
Now, I want to circle back to Step 4 for a second, because I cannot emphasize enough how critical evidence is. Your entire case lives or dies on irrefutable documentation. We're talking daily reports, site diaries, emails, RFIs, variation instructions, meeting minutes, even labor records, equipment logs, and photos. Seriously, without this exact paper trail, your claim literally does not exist.
And Step 5? It's basically the domino effect. You have to draw a direct, logical connection. Let's say a drawing approval is late. Bam! That leads directly to a delay in steel fabrication. That initial delay ripples out, causes the installation to stall, and ultimately pushes back the entire project completion date. You have to prove that unbroken chain for the claim to hold any water.
For Step 6, you're basically putting on your detective hat to do delay analysis. And no, you can't just guess here. You have to use actual forensic methods, like time impact analysis or window analysis. The whole goal is to isolate the exact cause of the stall, prove that it actually impacted the critical path of the project, and most importantly, prove that the contractor wasn't solely to blame for it.
So, jumping to Steps 7 and 9, we hit the quantum calculation. This is where a quantity surveyor literally tallies up the millions. Quantum is the exact calculation of financial damages, and it goes way beyond just the cost of raw materials. You're factoring in head office overheads, site overheads, labor inefficiency, equipment standby, and material escalation.
Every single penny lost to that delay is forensically accounted for right here.
Let's move on to Section 4, Anatomy of a Claim Document.
A professional claim is not just a bunch of spreadsheets, it's a rigorous, undeniable package. You kick it off strong with a cover letter and executive summary. Then you dive deep into the project background and a tight chronology of events. From there, you lay out your contractual basis, followed by the liability and delay analysis. Finally, you drop in that all-important quantum calculation, back the whole thing up with exhaustive supporting documents, and wrap it up with a firm conclusion. It's the whole shebang.
Finally, Section 5, Skills and Software Needed.
To actually pull this off, you kind of have to be a multidisciplinary powerhouse. You're not just an accountant and you're not just a lawyer. You have to blend sharp analytical skills like delay and cost analysis with elite negotiation and writing skills. You need a deep understanding of contract interpretation and FIDIC knowledge, plus you have to be a master at documentation management. It's an incredibly unique hybrid skill set.
And on top of those skills, you're going to need fluency in some specific software platforms to chew through the massive volumes of data efficiently. We're talking Primavera P6 and Microsoft Project for the complex scheduling, Microsoft Excel for the hardcore quantum math, and platforms like Aconex or Procore just to manage the absolute mountain of documentation you'll be dealing with.
So, we've laid out the roadmap, we've seen the immense stakes at massive energy and infrastructure companies, and we've walked through the rigorous 10-step toolkit you need to untangle these chaotic site disputes. This level of forensic work is literally what keeps mega projects from totally collapsing under the weight of unforeseen delays. Which leaves us with one final, very lucrative question based on everything we've looked at today. Do you have what it takes to master the millions?